Great to be back again. Houston, we have a housing problem. Is housing a basic need or is it an investment product? This tension seems to be an intractable problem, but we have options locally. It's a nuanced topic, but I'll give it a shot in 5 minutes. Everyone needs shelter. Costs must go down or more people have no place to live. This is not just a utilitarian problem. Buying a house is a deeply moral thing in American society, and we associate it with commitment, maturity, and responsibility. At the same time, a house is an investment asset. In fact, the conventional wisdom is that a house is the best investment many of us will ever make. Values must go up, or our personal wealth and the economy as a whole will tank. Yet, we insist on both. We want housing prices to come down so our kids can afford a first home. But if the price of my house falls, my nest egg goes away. As a result, the balance is tipped in favor of housing as an asset by people, industry, and government. We need more housing, but what typically gets built by the national housing machine are large-scale developments that are really just Wall Street investment products. This scale is a bit disruptive, and often they're not very affordable. We'll revisit this in a minute. The typical political solution to this problem is more debt. Individuals borrow more when interest rates are low, or governments borrow more for increased subsidies. Either way, costs don't go down, and it's not sustainable and leads to boom and bust cycles. We can't change that national game, but we can change the local game with the city government toolbox of zoning, permitting processes, city-owned land, and traditional affordable housing programs. Originally well-meaning, these tools are often used to prevent change and limit housing types. Couple that with existing regulatory incentives, and it drives options to the high end as we see all around the city these days. Let's take a look at some more of these. Lot and house size, setback, occupancy, parking requirements all dictate what gets built. These rules in our city code are biased towards larger single-family homes in much of the city. Many of these rules are arbitrary or even vestiges that no one can even remember where they come from. We have many regulations which are difficult for non-professionals to navigate, so only big developers with deep pockets and a lot of lawyers can navigate that process. This results in large-scale projects at luxury prices to make it work financially. Land is the prized commodity here, and how it's used determines the housing size and cost. Current incentives lead to a monoculture of scrape-offs and million-dollar homes. Furthermore, these are fiscally bad for the city, but that's a topic for next year. While things churn along nationally, there are local changes we can make now with policies that encourage more housing options. Let's discuss a few more of these in more detail. Small lot sizes for modest homes are more affordable for the middle class and less likely to cause displacement and gentrification. They're not likely to be scraped and, quote, biggered because of the small lot size. This is a goal with the new Tyler Avenue Overlay District. Simple, clear requirements and less process for small-scale development reduces friction and lowers cost. For example, duplexes and triplexes are the most affordable and are everywhere in Annapolis. These are traditional pathways to home ownership and wealth building with the additional market rate rental income they typically provide. They already exist virtually everywhere in the city and are well liked. We also have many ADUs in neighborhoods. They're lower priced rentals compared to other market rate options and are often built by the homeowner. So let's reduce regulation for constructing them while at the same time maintaining regulation to prevent widespread use as short-term rentals. We must also continue traditional affordable housing programs like that built at the Willows and our moderately priced dwelling unit law to produce below market rate options. They can't solve the whole problem, but they do contribute to the solution. The city can contribute land for lower cost housing options without needing any additional budget. Cleaning up and repurposing the old public works facility on Spa Road is a great example of reusing that land for the public good. These ideas are incremental and don't produce large disruptive change. They're not mandates, but do allow people the right to implement them if they wish. So it won't happen all at once, something that happens over time. They won't solve the whole problem, but are a path forward that, importantly, we control. Our comprehensive plan supports these incremental changes, so let's encourage our leadership to implement it in the future. If we fight everything because of fear of change, counterintuitively, we get large change, exactly what we don't want. To repeat the theme from my 2019 Ignite talk, no neighborhood should experience radical change, but at the same time, no neighborhood should be exempt from change. And if you want a deeper dive into these, check out my blog at teamplan.org. Thank you.